Stay low. Recon sortie heading this way. The ship looks intact.
Something tells me that's only because the Didact wanted it that way.
This is Lasky to UNSC Infinity. We're up to our next of bad guys down here. Does anyone read?
This is Sierra 117 of the UNSC forward under Dawn. We're on station, ready to assist.
Negative copy. Sounded like you said forward at the Dawn coming in.
Signal's bouncing in and out. I can't clean it up.
Light up their friend or foe tags. We're gonna need something to zero in on.
Hello everyone and welcome to my Halo 4 Legendary Walkthrough Guide. This is for the 4th mission, Infinity, and this mission is going to be kind of difficult simply because of how long this mission is. The fights aren't really that bad, especially since they give you a tank, a Mantis, plenty of ammo throughout this mission, and it's really just the length of this mission and sometimes the RNG, but we're going to get right on into it by doing a cool little despawn to get us out of the to get us to Lasky. It's going to be really nice because we don't want to deal with any enemies. We don't like fighting them if we don't have to. So just gonna stay on top of these branches, just running, ignoring all the crawlers and the watchers shooting at you, hopping over the branch, making sure you take that last branch to get over those two crawlers here. You're gonna immediately hang a left, and then you're gonna jump up on the rock, then onto the log, and then onto the rock again, trying to avoid that crawler with the binary rifle that was just aiming at you a few moments ago. Then you're gonna hop up, you're just gonna maintain just staying in a straight direction, hop on the rocks, and then go up onto the log, and then you're going to jump on down, making sure that you hit that loading zone. If you do not hit that loading zone, there's a high chance that you didn't do this despawn correctly. But if you see that loading zone and you hop on down, you don't have to deal with any enemies between you and Lasky. It's a really nice little despawn that you can do to basically make the first part of the mission less of a headache. But once we get on the other side, after we're done with the cutscene with Lasky, it's going to be many more enemies, and it's going to be really, I would say, annoying, but it's part of it. But making sure that we just keep on doing the little sprint, run, jump, melee, that way we can maintain our sprint. But as I was saying, it's really just, this mission is all about the RNG, and that's what makes this mission particularly difficult. But now that we're at the Lasky area, we're going to just do a couple crouch jumps and then activate that IFF tag. Make sure you grab a DMR, and then in a few moments you'll get a cutscene with Lasky and Commander Palmer. But after that, I'll see you guys on the other side.
Multiple IDs. Chief, they're friendlies.
Afraid we're gonna have to give you an IOU on that welcome home party. Tom Lasky, first officer of the Infinity. Never thought I'd see you again.
Seal her up! I thought you'd be taller.
Ground forces are ordered to return to Infinity immediately.
Commander! Radio's hot!
Bond to come. On what frequency? What frequency, damn it?
Infinity, this is Commander Lasky. The Helkin recon teams are down. Repeat, all birds are down. We got numerous casualties and require immediate assistance. Over.
Vital. Did you get the coordinates of that gravity well?
Affirmative, sir, but we're gonna need a bus out of here.
Make it happen.
You were sent on a scouting run in the middle of an attack on the ship.
The captain thought Infinity could provide us cover and hold off the attack at the same time.
Sir, we'll never get the wounded back to the ship on foot.
I don't know if it's too soon to ask you for a favor, but we're gonna run out of breathing room here real quick. I don't suppose you're any good at clearing LZs.
On occasion. I'll send out an all clear once the area is secured.
Alright, now that we're done with that cutscene, on the other side of this door is where all the fun begins. We're going to be dealing with two crawlers immediately once this door opens. There's going to be one straight in, basically both of them are in front of you. One is going to be on the branch that you saw there, and then the rest of them are going to be kind of scattered underneath this tree. You're going to want to take out the crawlers first, and then try to take out these knights here. There's going to be two knights, trying to make sure that we take out the crawlers because those do get annoying. Like dealing with one knight versus like a knight and 5 crawlers, it's kind of like no competition. Now both knights in this area do have light rifles, so make sure that you like are trying to fight from a distance. It's not a big deal if they try to charge at you. Got plenty of ammo around here as well. We have a shotgun, some DMR ammo. Got the shields on this knight, so we just want to make sure that we use our DMR to finish him off. Now there should be a few more crawlers. I see this knight here. I'm trying to get its shields. It went into cover, so time to just take out this crawler here. Finally got it. Expected the knight to dodge to the right, not to the left, which was interesting. Stunned the watcher long enough to be able to get this knight's shields. Knight goes berserk, tries to charge at me. Now if the knight charges at you, you always want to basically jump, sidestep to the right. That way it doesn't hit you with its melee, which I believe is a one-shot kill. So if it does hit you, more often than not, unless you had like full shields or something, or it didn't like hit you completely, most of the time it is that's usually where you die. So just always remember, if the knight charges at you, you're gonna jump, sidestep to the right or the left, and then it should be free and clear from that knight, and then you can just basically kill it because it's super close to you. That's always why it's nice to have like a close range weapon like a scatter shot or a shotgun with you. Now around this corner there's going to be some more crawlers here. You're going to take them out first, and then you're going to ignore the knight right here that just kind of like spawned on in. And then at this point you're out in probably what I would deem is the hardest part of the mission in and of itself, in terms of just in a firefight, because you have a lot of enemies and you have to fight up this this hill, and then you have to hold the hill until Cortana opens the door. So this part is really where we're gonna be trying to focus a lot of our like what we can do to make this successful. Now just taking out the crawlers that we normally do, trying to take out this knight here. Got a lot of Marines firing on it, so that's really nice for us. Trying to make sure that we have, keeping an eye on our ammo here. There is a lot of DMR ammo in this area. You don't want to use it all right now, so just make sure that you are playing conservative with it. So we have these two watchers here on the right and the left. They both go in immediately to spawn in turrets. If you're fast enough and kill the watchers, they don't spawn the turrets at all. But unfortunately, both of the turrets spawn on in, so kind of just how it worked. Gonna try to take out these crawlers here. There's plenty of them around. Taking out that last turret. Now, once those turrets go down, it's all about those knights now. So one more knight did spawn in, so you will want to make sure that you are aware of them. You can go up behind them. We might do that a little bit later with this tree, as you see here. It's just above us, and it allows us to get the basically to go around and basically get their flank. So we might have to do that simply because, as you see here, my ammo is kind of I got 2 more shots left in my DMR, and I don't want to get up close and personal with these knights quite yet. Trying to lob a few grenades, trying to aggravate them to make sure that they try to stun me. Unfortunately, it didn't work out like that. So this is where I finally said, you know, I'm just gonna try to take their flank. And there are a lot of turrets that we're gonna be using that is gonna make this part really, really easy. So running on by, we're just gonna hop on this turret, target the knight closest to us. There we go, got the first one. Now we're just going to take out the second one, keeping an eye out on the turret so it doesn't overheat. And then that is it for the first part of this hill fight. So once you take out the knights, like once you fight up the hill, now you have to put Cortana inside of the interface. But before we do that, we're just going to make sure that we get all the ammo that we can possibly get. Like there should be some more DMR around here somewhere. I'm trying to find it. There we go. Because one of the Marines died on the hill that had a DMR. We wanted to make sure that we picked it up. It's in different positions. So you always want to make sure that you have DMR ammo going into this fight. Making sure that you're all basically prepped and ready. Now for this fight, you're going to use your DMR, take out the crawlers here. As you try to basically strafe your way to the turret here on the right side. The reason why we get the turret on the right side is so we have that ease of access to get out of harm's way in any case we get overwhelmed. In any other case, you kind of just sit here on the turret and fight these knights as they're trying to basically take this hill. Now again, making sure that you are aware of your turret overheating. You might want to burst the turret rather than just hold the trigger down. Or if it does overheat, you will want to get off the turret, use your DMR, because when you're not suppressing the enemy, you are just a sitting duck at that point. So making sure that you allow the turret time to basically like cool down gives you time to kill some of these other enemies. Taking out the Watcher that just spawned out of the Knight here, and then gonna take out the other Knight that is sitting here farthest away. Now you always want to take out Knights in terms of distance. You want to take them out from closest to furthest away, because the Knights closest to you will do the most damage, because damage does fall off in Halo at a certain distance with certain weapons, and the light rifle is one of them. So trying to take out the Knight here. As it gets closer to us, we're going to make sure that he is our priority. Now with the crawlers, notice how I'm getting off the turret, because the precision of the DMR is going to be much more useful against these crawlers than the turret will be. The turret is supposed to be for Knights and Watchers, whereas the DMR is for crawlers and other easy enemies that just go with one headshot. Now taking out that Knight, we're just going to get off of it again. We're just going to make sure that we can get some more DMR ammo. And that usually is it. That's the entire fight, by the way. After you take out that Knight, that's it. You're just going to make sure that you go around and pick up this railgun, because we're going to be using that in a moment. And we also want to make sure that we are fully prepared with our DMR, making sure it has full ammo. That is the entire hill fight. Again, that, in my opinion, is the hardest part of the mission in and of itself. I know I made it look a little easy, but to me that was really difficult, and I was surprised at how well that went. Now, the only other part of this mission that I would say gives you a little bit more difficulty is this part coming up right now, and that's simply because you're dealing with both the Covenant and the Prometheans. Now, when you're dealing with the Knights, you're going to get a railgun shot first. That's going to take its shields down, and then that's the only time you use a railgun is to take out the Promethean Knights. Now, there is a Grunt that usually charges around that is trying to suicide you, and that's not good. You always want to take him out first, and then we always want to take out that Jackal Marksman with the carbine. He also can get really annoying, and then after that, it's really just about taking out the Promethean Knights, as well as the Grunts that are charging you, as well as there's a few Jackals. You just want to make sure that you are aware of them as well. Making sure that we are aware that most of these enemies here have needlers, and it only takes 6 needles to super combine and kill you and end your run. So you want to make sure you are aware of that as well. Making sure that we are keeping a close eye on any other enemies that can step up on us. Again, making sure that we are aware of those Grunts. Now, once you take out a certain amount of enemies, a Phantom will drop off more. Most of them are just Grunts and Jackals. No elites, you don't have to worry about that, simply because you are dealing with a bunch of Promethean Knights. So trying to take out the Jackal on the turret. Shouldn't have wasted all that ammo, but I mean, it kind of is what it is at that point. Got the shields on the Knight with the railgun. Easy peasy. Got that Jackal. And now the Phantom, we want to make sure that we get to cover, because the Phantom kind of is targeting me. So most of them Jackals, as you saw, that just fell off on the right side. Got one of them before the turret of the Phantom got to me. And then remember that Jackal Marksman that we killed a little earlier? We want to make sure that we pick up his carbine, because we still need precision weapons to deal with the Knights, as well as other small infantry, like Grunts, Jackals, stuff like that. And we're going to try to take out the final ones here. There we have another battle wagon, another Knight battle wagon. Trying to make sure that he can get away from us. And there we go. Again, that railgun is super nice. And there's a lot of railgun ammo in this area, so if you need some, just step up a little bit. I think it's on that crate. As you see there in my view, there is some on that crate. So make sure that you always are aware of what's kind of around you. Now, using the railgun, that Knight got a little too close, spawned into his own demise, and that is it for this area. Got that Jackal, and then we clear the LZ. Now we just go to the really cool tank part of the mission. Now again, this is only the halfway point of the mission. We have a bunch. Again, the part of this mission that is so difficult isn't necessarily the fights. It is the length of the mission and the RNG that is associated with it. You're going to be dealing with a bunch of enemies. I mean, the tank part obviously is going to be the easiest part of this mission, but this part right here, if you make it to this point, in my opinion, you've basically kind of conquered the mission. The only other hard part would be when you get into the Mantis later on. Now, as you see here, we have an entirely different loadout. They gave us an assault rifle and a DMR. Before we get into the tank, we want to make sure that we clear out all the small arm infantry. Any jackals, grunts are the priority. If you want to take out this elite, you can. He usually is just an elite miner, which elite miners just go down really easily. And then you're going to hop into the Scorpion, making sure you are aware of this Wraith. Going to try to take out this Wraith immediately. It takes only 2 shots from the tank to kill a Wraith, so remember that. Going to try to take out this Phantom as well, just for fun. But things are damaging us, so take out the things that actually hurt. Surprised that that Phantom didn't blow up after that. Before we move on, always making sure that we can that we're safe to move up. Now there is another skip that you can do that speedrunners do employ in this part that kind of gets you through this a lot faster. However, for me, I prefer having the tank fighting the hunters when we get up into the infinity, rather than having to use the Wraith later on. But that's because I prefer the tank, and the tank is better at taking out hunters anyway. So I don't know. That's my preference. You will want to make sure that you are always careful of any enemies in these sniper towers. Most of them do have fuel rod cannons, making sure that we are always aware of that. Got some more enemies coming up over here on the right. Usually the guy on your turret is really, really good at his job. And this Warthog does pull a lot of aggro off of you, and that's really, really helpful, especially considering, as I said, you will be dealing with fuel rod cannons when we're dealing with grunts. Now, always making sure that we take out the sniper towers. Got one in the distance right over here, past the fog, and that's what I was talking about right there. There's a grunt here that had a fuel rod cannon, and it almost shot at me. And trying to make sure that that grunt did die. Trying to find him out. Got another sniper tower in the distance. Gonna take it out too. Got a Wraith as well. My buddy and the Warthog almost got decked by my tungsten shot. So whatever. Like, and then there they go. And those guys and the Warthog kind of got wrecked. But it's gonna be fine. Got most of the enemies in this area already taken down. Look at that little piece of debris still floating in the air like a trooper. That's kind of funny though. I didn't notice that on my run. That's kind of funny. Anyways, keep an eye out for any more enemies. Got that sniper tower in the distance, taking out those 2 grunts. Maybe even a jackal, who knows. Got a Wraith in the distance here. I'm gonna try to take it out with this next shot. There we go. As I said, 2 shots from the tank. Kills a Wraith every single time. Gonna try to see if we can take out this Phantom this time. I think it's 4. 4 shots from a tank takes out a Phantom. That's 3. Is it 4? Maybe 5. Let's see. I miss. So, well, maybe we can test it out later. But that's that Phantom does drop off some more ghosts. There are going to be some jackals here on the left-hand side, making sure you are aware of those, as those enemies also got dropped off by that Phantom. Keeping an eye out for that if there's another ghost, but I think the enemy and the ghost got killed when I was shooting at that Phantom, but I'm not 100% sure. No, it's right here. Now, we just matrixed the hell out of that shot from that fuel rod cannon, so making sure you are aware, again, non-stop, be always aware and quick to react if in any case a fuel rod cannon does shoot at you, because one fuel rod cannon already takes you down like a quarter health on your Scorpion. So making sure you are aware of those. Got a ghost right here. Just slowly moving up. Got some more enemies probably here on the right. Oh no, there's some on the left. There we go. Keeping an eye on the right hand side now. Take the left side because we get the better view of any more enemies as we get up the vantage point up here. That way we can get a little bit more clear line of sight as to what we're going to be dealing with. The guy on the turret easily took out that grunt that was running away. And then this area right here is really just clearing out a Wraith and several ghosts, and then maybe a few enemies in the and a few like infantry enemies. Gotta get that Spartan back onto my tank. Gotta get him in. There we go. Now trying to see if there's any more enemies. There's a few more. Got that overkill. Come on. And then we got the ghost for good measure. That should be it. Now we're just going to head right into the Infinity. So again, this is probably the easiest stretch of the mission. Even when we get into the Infinity, so long as you're not like bringing your tank straight into the hunters, like right into the middle of the entire like force that is aboard in the Infinity, you should be fine. It's not going to be like super difficult to kill 2 hunters with the tank. Especially once you are up here, you will want to focus them immediately. Do not hesitate. Target those hunters literally the second you get up. Trying to take out some shots. At this point, just kind of blind firing because there were so many enemies. I'm pretty sure I could have killed something. Got 1 hunter, it looks like. Got a splatter off of something. I have no idea what it was. And I think that was the other hunter all the way in the back there. Got some more enemies. I'm trying to figure out what... Oh, it was just a grunt with a fuel rod cannon. Nothing too dangerous. Who cares? It was just a grunt with a fuel rod cannon that could have killed me. Whatever. All right. That concludes the tank part. The rest of this part of the mission is really just the Mantis. Once Captain Del Rio stops talking to us, we're going to get on through. There's going to be a Mantis for us, and we're just going to basically use that for the rest of the mission to defeat the Covenant. Or the Prometheans. Whatever. It's just going to be maybe both. Who knows? Well, I know. It's both. Spoiler alert. But before we get into the Mantis, we want to go pick up a rocket launcher. Make sure you pick up the other one for the ammo, because we will be using these immediately once we get out onto the on top of the outer hull of the Infinity. Now, once we activate it, we got ourselves a nice looking Mantis. It's the first time we ever see a Mantis in Halo. It's a brand new vehicle. It's going to be pretty nice. I like Mantis. Mantises are cool. And then you just kind of use the Mantis to destroy this little, destroy this poor door. This poor door did nothing wrong. But the Mantis, essentially, you want to use your machine gun most of the time on the infantry units like Jackals, Grunts, Promethean Crawlers, and then you use your missiles to take out the like Knights, Elites, stuff like that. Again, trying to keep distance. Distance is our friend when we're dealing with any type of enemy like this. Now, there is a stomp that the Mantis does have in any case the enemies do get a little too close to you. So make sure you use that. But again, the best defense immediately is just kind of try to stay at a distance. You don't want to be up close and personal, especially when you're dealing with enemies that have fuel rod cannons like that guy right there, like that Grunt had. Now we got plenty more. Trying to prioritize that that Grunt with the fuel rod cannon over these Promethean Knights. So making sure that we are targeting them first. Got a few more. It looks like their shields did recharge, so unfortunate for us. That Watcher kind of being annoying, so gonna try to take it out now. There we go. Got a few more. Trying to keep this from range. See if we can destroy that bridge with the Grunts already on it. Think we can get it. There we go. A few more enemies on the ground. Just a few Grunts and Jackals. I think that's a Knight over there. Yep, that was a Knight. Just on the score you can tell. A few more enemies. Alright. So, almost there. We're almost to the outer deck. We just need to fight, I think, one more like wave of enemies here. That Knight came out of nowhere. I think he spawned in. Because I did not see him. He was not on my motion tracker the entire time. So, he just kind of came out of nowhere. I honestly didn't know where this guy was. But anyways. Taking out the enemies from, as we always do, closest to furthest away. That Watcher is annoying. Don't want it to revive any of its buddies. So, let's take it out. Accidentally overheated my machine gun. See if we can use the missiles here to take out that Knight. And again, if the enemies do get close to you, you could stomp if you want. Otherwise, just kind of chill out, back up, use your machine gun, take out their shields, and then, or take them out, and then eventually your shields will recharge. So, try and take out this last Watcher here. Should be just a few more enemies. An entire like platoon of grunts and and jackals though. Got that turret up there. Finally got that one. Even took the bridge out just for fun. All this damage to the Infinity. This poor ship. I got a few more Promethean Knights that spawn on in. And try. Looks like we have also a few jackals here on the left side. That knight got away. That's a stupid little thing that I hated about the knights, is that they would just teleport away from you. Come on. There we go. We're on our final straightaway, and then we're going to be able to... Looking for this knight. I think it portaled behind me, but I'm not 100% sure. There we go. I think he portaled behind the pillar here on the right side. Then he portals just a little bit away into more cover, whatever. 2 more knights come on in. Same thing happens to them, though. Those knights just could not get away from me. Got a few grunts with Fjord cannons here. Some turrets. You will be dealing with, like, this entire part right here, again, is just you sitting in your Mantis, keeping from a distance, just using the missiles and the machine guns to your advantage, because your entire purpose is just to play from range. Don't get up close and personal with them on legendary. Just don't. But here we have right here the path on the way out. Now this part right here, you will just have a few grunts here. Once you take them all out, then you'll be able to just board the elevator and go to the outer deck. We're almost done with this mission. Now, in terms of the vehicle sections from the tank and when we got into the Mantis, this is the hardest part. In terms of the vehicle part in the second half of the mission. Because there's going to be so many enemies that are going to be basically, there's going to be phantoms, there's going to be banshees, there's going to be a bunch of enemies on the ground trying to fight, trying to shoot at you as well. Fjord cannon wielding grunts, like a bunch of enemies. Your entire goal is just to stay as, again, play from range. Do not get up close and personal. Now, once we get out, there's going to be I think there's a few Mantis that, in any case your Mantis does get damaged, you will be able to get more, or another Mantis. But I'm not 100% sure. I could be mistaking it for Composer. No, I'm pretty sure you get more. Like, in any case your Mantis gets damaged, you can get more. But we're going to use our Mantis to take out basically the 3 objectives. And that, again, that has happened multiple times in this mission, where a grunt with a Fjord cannon basically just barely misses me. It just flies right over me, and it's crazy. Now, here's some Banshees. You're always going to make sure that you turn on the Banshees. Like, ignore everything else. Just go for the Banshees. Gonna try to take out a few more of these enemies here on the deck before any more Banshees come on in, or Phantoms. Trying to see if I can snipe the objective from this distance. There we go. So now we have all the anti-air going. So it's going to help us out clearing up the skies. Using the anti-air gun for cover. Now, in the Mantis, your missiles do track against air targets, so make sure that you are aware of that. That shot from the Banshee, the Banshee bomb did kind of like startle me. Like, I was not expecting that Banshee to be there. But if you do take a little bit of damage, just fall back, go into cover. Like this little area right here, you think it's a choke point. It really isn't. It's a really nice little area for you to be able to hold out. Like, you have cover on both of your sides. The only thing that can be a little scary is, in any case, like, Fjord cannons do show up, or like a Banshee tosses a Banshee bomb. But just kind of chill here and cover. Wait for those Phantoms to go away. Use your missiles and your machine gun. This is one of those things, like, I was just like, okay, I'm improvising now. I'm not gonna die at this point. Trying to take out any more Banshees in the sky. There should be a few more enemies. We're almost through this. All we have to do is hold out just a tiny bit longer. Got a few more enemies coming on in. Again, prioritizing grunts because they do have a ton of Fjord cannons. Notice how that thing shot at the enemies on the deck. They shot at the deck for you, so they cleared out some of the enemies on the deck. And that was really, really nice of the Infinity to target them like that. Now using the Mantis to try to take out this Phantom before it drops off any more troops. Getting back into cover because of that Banshee. Trying to see if we can... There we go. We finally took out one of the Phantoms. We were like 0 for 4 up until this point. Because we were trying to take him out in the tank earlier and it just was not working out. Got a direct hit on that last elite that fell out. Now again, just cleaning up a little bit of enemies on the deck. We're almost through this. And literally as I say that, we finally got the objective complete. Once you get out of the objective complete, it's basically you just have to get out of the Mantis, activate something, activate the panel here on the left, and that's basically it. That is the Mission Infinity on Legendary Difficulty without any deaths. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys did, please leave a like down below. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, of course, leave those down below. Any type of engagement is awesome. And it always is nice to please the algorithm to make sure that these videos are seen. Now again, if you did like these videos, please consider leaving a subscription as well. Like I plan on doing these a lot, and there's a lot of cool things going on in the channel later on once we're done with all these guides. So thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys again for Reclaimer. Thank you guys for watching.
We are condition yellow. Stand down. Section 1, report in. Begin damage assessment.
What I want to know, people, is where the hell did those things come from?
It's possible that they're native to Requiem, or whatever counts as native for a Forerunner AI.
We've never seen this type of offensive reaction from any of the other installations.
Other installations?
Mr. Lasky.
Infinity's mission has been to locate the remaining Halo rings and establish permanent bases to study them for decommission. We got locations up and running around installations 5 and 3, but lately they've run into some setbacks.
A science team got zapped excavating a Forerunner artifact. This sensor data is all that was left.
Interesting. These symbols are a derivation of the Forerunner glyph system.
And our geeks managed to pull some coordinates. I'll give you 3 guesses where it led.
Sir, Gypsy Company is prepped and ready to roll on your orders.
Thank you, Palmer. Mr. Lasky, you take point. I want boots on the ground in 60.
Captain.
This is a first contact scenario, Master Chief. Priority is to free Infinity from Requiem's gravity well and file a threat assessment back at FleetCom.
You mean we're leaving?
Sir, Infinity drove the Didact back. He's vulnerable.
He isn't the only one. You know, I think you, of all people, would appreciate the benefit of living to fight another day.